So get started, or what?
Let's go.
We just wait until forever, never start. Right. There's only one place to start. Fancy, do you remember the season at all?
2003, 2004.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Fancy.
I was
Yes,
what,
the top scorer, lad.
8/9.
8/9.
Yeah.
You should be remembering by then, lad.
Yeah, I mean, not got the greatest memory, but yeah, I feel like when we get talking.
Is this Invincibles yet?
And this is where we're going to start the absolute. Well, right time's already done. Let's be honest, real quick. So, Arsenal go invincible. What is it in Champions League?
Only time in the Premier League. There was a team in like 1938 that went undefeated all year.
Wait,
They were decent.
I can't remember. I wasn't around, Jace. I just know they weren't the only ones to do it.
I saw it, James Fainty. Didn't know you're taking up 2 cameras today. Jesus. What, 1938?
Yeah,
Something like that.
middle of World War II, Battle of Normandy.
No man's land?
Yeah, no man's land. 11v11, undefeated. It was winner stays on. Yeah, winner stays on.
Somewhere around there.
They survived the whole war, Second World War. Winner stays on. 6 years it was. They hadn't lost again.
First division. No, Everton lost 10 games that year, so that's not it. All right, well, that's
Sorry, it was Preston North End in 1883.
What?
1883.
What do you think about it? I was in your country then?
I remember them in 85. They were in 85. They were 83 as well. For me.
Let's try and keep it relevant so Fainty can be a part of the conversation, yeah? So, Arsenal, undefeated run. Is this as good of a season as it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, I know they drew quite a few games, didn't they? But like to go unbeaten still. I mean, considering no one else has done it, like, you know, in the Premier League or in the 19th century onwards, it's like an impressive feat, isn't it? So you can't really take that away from them. 12 draws. I mean, you still haven't been beaten by a lot of good teams, home and away. So
We went 26 wins, still the most wins out of everybody in the Premier League that season. Yeah, 12 draws, 0 losses. Closes up to them with 11 points behind, actually, which is quite a lot when you think about it. Chelsea with 24 wins, 7 draws, and 7 losses. I'm not going to argue about those 12 draws, Fancy. What do you think about them?
12 draw.
Yeah, like, how are you going to be undefeated with 12 draws? There's those in there.
I'll be interested to go back and see what the scorelines were. Were they worded in?
Fancy. Let me tell you. All draws that season, early on in the season, September, they drew 1-1 with Portsmouth at Arsenal. Drew 0-0 at United. Listen, 0-0 at Old Trafford going for the league is not a bad shout in this time of the year. We'll skip a couple. They went on to beat Newcastle, beat Liverpool, beat Chelsea, drew 1-1 with Charlton. Come all wins of the belt, back to Leeds, 4-1, beat Tottenham 2-1. Then beat Birmingham, drew 1-0 with Fulham, 1-1 with Leicester. And then they are picking up.
Drew with all the shit teams.
Blackburn, drew Bolton.
Fulham, Bolton, like.
So their biggest, assuming like them shit teams just parked the bus, probably tried to play on the hit them on the counter or play for set pieces, but all the draws there are 0-0 and 1-1. So I mean,
nobody played park the bus this time of the generation. I think the conversation at the end of this pod will start the conversation about parking the bus. They're winning the drawing. They go on a 9-game winning streak though before hosting Manchester United again at Highbury would be then. They draw 1-1. They beat Arsenal 4-2, and then as they're closing out the season, they
beat Arsenal 4.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying about the draws, but ultimately they've not lost. You know, that's pretty impressive itself. As soon as, you know, I'm sure in some of them games they probably came from behind as well, and you know, the mentality to go a whole Premier League season without losing a single game, regardless of the amount of draws, is some feat, in my opinion.
That season, Henry gets top goal scorer of the Golden Boot with 30 goals, 8 more than Alan Shearer behind him, followed on by Luis Saha with 20 goals for Fulham and United. Ruben van Nistelrooy got 20 goals also. Is this much credit to the attacking prowess, or is it still kind of like that we mentioned a couple of pods ago about just the defensive strength of Arsenal? Because, as Fainty said, they didn't lose any for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, you got a back five of Seaman, Winterburn, Adams, Keown, and Dixon. They were stalwarts for 10, 12, 15 years in the Premier League. They were very, very, very good defenders. Yeah, they're not lost a game. They drew 12. Not the most games in the league drew. Newcastle had 17 draws that season.
Oh.
Newcastle had 17.
17?
Yeah. There was quite a few draws. Leicester had 15, got relegated. City had 14. Birmingham had 14. Newcastle had 17. Liverpool had 12 draws that season. And Arsenal had 12 draws that season.
That is wild. 17 draws. It's nearly half the season. It just draws.
Stalemate season, no wonder when they're defeated. Everybody drawn everything. 2 point though. Team of the year, Tim Howden goal for Manchester United. Loren, Campbell, Ashley Cole in the back four.
Okay.
Of the Team of the Year. Tom Terry breaking in there. Midfielder Steven Gerrard alongside Frank Lampard with Patrick Vieira and Rob Perez, both Arsenal again. Henry up front with Ruud van Nistelrooy.
I can never remember Arsenal with anything but Tony Adams and Keown and Winterburn and Dixon in the back line and Seaman. Now you said that Sol Campbell and Loren and fucking Jens Lehmann, who was in net. I think they signed him that season. Now that you said that, I think they signed him that season. He was like 1.5 million. Something along those lines.
Did you get the whole back five wrong there, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, every single one of them. Maybe not. I might have. Let me see. I don't know.
He was reading out. He was the 1838.
I wonder what they had that year.
Well, that's funny. I can't find the transfers for this year. But Jens Lehmann is in the squad for the season. Pretty big for them moving forward. I mean, this squad has Jens Lehmann, Ashley Cole, Vieira, Mike Keown still there, Robert Perez, Lundberg, as you know. Antonio Reyes comes in, Bergkamp still there, Sylvain Wiltord, Henry, Ray Powers still there. Ron Bronckhorst came in. I forgot Ron Bronckhorst went to Arsenal. Edu, Devonta Silva, Gal Clichy was there. Cano was up there. So was Claude Toure. I'm trying to think of the name. Breaking through.
Was Edu the one that broke his leg?
I made that minging tackle.
Yeah.
Against Birmingham, was it?
Yeah, that was brutal.
No, it was against Stoke. I think it was Shawcross, wasn't it? Yeah. He stepped on his ankle.
Maybe you can guess. Was newest signing, roster number 57 from Spain on the Arsenal roster, or Arsenal squad.
For that season?
For that season.
Zola.
No, that's too early, mate.
No, I mean, Reyes weren't number 57, no?
Reyes was not. I haven't mentioned his name yet, so.
Oh, okay.
Reyes was 9.
Idea, Spanish. No idea.
Mikel Arteta.
Cesc Fabregas. I think he just joined, and I think this is when they're loaning him back out this season as well. He played a couple of games. Arsenal undefeated season. Will it ever get done again? I mean, we were pretty close. Liverpool lost, 2 games in 2 years?
Yeah, we lost one, and the only one we lost was against City, and that was when John Stones cleared it off the line.
Remember that big toe of it?
I think City might have had 1 loss, or did they have 2 1 year? But that shows how good it is. That over the last few years, the Liverpool and City team getting 98, 99, 100 points, still lost games. Those United teams that won trebles and that still lost a game or multiple games. To go the whole season, and I think what's more impressive, it seems like that draws weren't against any of the good teams, which is weird. Yeah. So they've obviously performed against all the big teams, which I think is a feat in itself. And then the other teams must have I don't know, they just couldn't break them down, or they just things didn't go their way. But to be able to go to Anfield and Old Trafford and places like that and not lose, maybe not Anfield as much. Old Trafford was probably a harder place to go back then.
There was 30 points difference between Arsenal in this year and Liverpool that finished fourth. 30 points between first and fourth. That is absolutely mental. 30 points. Can you imagine what 30 points? What is 30 points now from Liverpool right now? 30 points lower.
It is 9th place, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that was top four. 30 points.
That's mental.
30 points, and I did 40 points. No, I did 30 points. Been a long day.
This is the year, Yatesy. Is this the year of Van Nistelrooy versus Keno, and they're having their beef? I think when Van Nistelrooy scores, and does Keno scream in his face or something? Then
Keown, not Keno.
that's what I said. Yeah.
Keno. You said Keno.
Yeah, you did say Keno. It was over the.
Clip that again.
Might have been.
And now the first one is Arsenal score against United, obviously, and Keown celebrates in his face as running by.
Jumps on him and whacks him with like his foot.
Yeah, Bob, you're right. Van Nistelrooy scores a penalty and just goes
in front of his face. Yeah. Yeah, it might be that one. I can't remember what the score of the game was.
Do we still have that in the game?
What? Like taunting?
Well, I think that when Nistelrooy, Keown thing's a bit bigger than just taunting, isn't it? I think there's a little.
You can't celebrate without getting banned anymore.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. Like the refs have like ruined a lot of the passion. Like you can't celebrate in certain ways now, otherwise there's like they're going to bring in bookings. Like you can't like touch anyone. Like I mean, it's just got so ridiculous. Like, and I understand that they're trying to protect the players and like some of the tackles back then. Like we saw that one. Who was it the other day? You put it in. It was like Letitia. No, Graham Lasso.
No, Lasso. Yeah.
Like, mate, like 2-footed like that is like outrageous. And like today, deservedly would be a red card and a pretty lengthy ban. I would imagine he would probably get more than the 3 games for something like that. But it's the game has gone a lot softer, and I think that the officials have to take a lot of the blame for that. And
I think I put in the group the other day, like tackles are down 25% across seasons, and bookings are up 33%. Like
some bookends.
Bob, to your points about Graham Lasso, that tackle, surely it's good that it's not in the game anymore, right?
No, and I agree. Like with those kind of tackles, like Tarkovsky the other day, perfect example. I get it. I get what he's trying to do. He's clearing it, and you want to leave a bit on the defender. But when you put your legs forwards like that, and to leave your legs going like almost knee height to a player, it's just like you don't need to do that. I've done many where you clear the ball and you scissor and take the other player out, but that's more of like just wrapping your legs around them and kind of taking them down. To go with a straight leg, studs that high, like, and maybe it was just he's just flown in and not really trying to do damage. But when you look at the replays, it's like it's bad. He could have like seriously injured McAllister.
Tackle.
Yeah. So I think we all can agree maybe those tackles are fine, but in terms of the rivalries and the competition and the little bit of nastiness in terms of everything else, that's all gone too. Like,
it's a shame. Like you say, that passion, the passion, and you said the rivalries. I mean, you just have to. I mean, listening to Gary Neville talk about City United. Yeah, was it yesterday, day before? And like how both teams are just like okay with a 0-0, and just bleh, I mean, there was no needle, there was no, neither team wanted to go and win it, and 10 years ago, 20 years ago, like United City at Old Trafford would be like an absolute, bloodbath, wouldn't it?
I think it's become more of like a respect now, like teams like respect each other. Like the last few years, like Liverpool and City were like such nice games because it was just like Klopp against Guardiola. It was like just like tactical. Like everyone was like friends. Like Van Dijk and De Bruyne's kids go to school together, so they're always like talking and laughing after the game, before the game. Like you saw like Bruno Fernandes, he went up to De Bruyne after, and it's like said something to him, which is fair. Like, but it's that's where we're at now. I feel like it's more of a like a respect for each other. Whereas
I
back in
don't
the
think
day,
it's a
everyone
bad
just
thing
fucking
either.
hated each other.
I don't think it's a bad thing either now, to be fair. I don't know.
I think it's because everyone's more accessible to each other. I mean, listen, here's an example. We all live easily within 2 minutes of each other, and we're zooming in to make this podcast. Like, it's so much easier for us to be at home and have and build relationships, whereas back then, maybe you couldn't get it done. So is it just that people have like personal relationships with each other socially well, electronically, I guess?
Maybe. I mean, if you hear all the stories about England back in the early days, like Rio and all the United lads were like, they'd sit on their own table. The Liverpool lads would sit on their own table. The Chelsea lads would sit on their own table. And now they don't. Everyone has played and been with each other throughout the whole systems and years. But now they have a relationship.
If
I
you
don't
like,
know. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I really don't. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I think the only thing I can see it being a bad thing is the intensity of games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
United and City yesterday was a ball fest. It was United tried to win it. City were comfortable with a draw, didn't create much, and if we were better in the final third, we probably would have won. But it was just a boring game.
but I think it all goes back to like when you look at those teams, like United had what Scholes, Neville, like how many Manx like through and through, like did they have in that team? Like you look at Chelsea and it's like
Wes Brown, like we
yeah,
had,
like
we had
you
quite
all
a few.
you'd do anything for that club. You got like Gerrard and Carragher at Liverpool, like Chelsea. You got like Lampard and like Terry, like who you see as like just they are like Chelsea, and like maybe I guess Arsenal had a lot of foreigners, but like I feel like now it's just like the stars of the clubs are not like from those cities. Like it's just like I don't know, like you've kind of lost that rivalry, and that was the thing. Like you go to England, it's like everyone hates each other because they're all like such big rivals, and that's how it was back then. And now it's just like like I feel like it's more.
It kind of had to be like that though back in the day. Like the money wasn't in football then. You had to produce homegrown talent. You had to produce kids that had come through your academy and from the system, and you'd bring in a couple of players here and there. Now, if you wanted to, you could go and bring in 20 foreign players and have a full foreign squad, like because the money in the football's there. So I agree with that.
Despite Arsenal having all these foreigners, I mean, Vieira would kick shit out of anybody. Again, I mean, he's no Londoner, but I mean, I don't think anybody could argue here that Patrick Vieira didn't care for Arsenal in that manner. But I think Gary Neville's a great example, and especially I think the difference between now and then. And obviously, growing up as a kid, I never liked Gary Neville. I couldn't understand why he was even winning all these Premier Leagues, and now I'm grown and I have a little bit better emotional intelligence. He wasn't too bad. But one of my favorite moments of Gary Neville, I think that made me kind of like him, was when there's a clip of him in the tunnel away at City, and Schmeichel comes down to shake his hand, and he's like, "Absolutely not, absolutely not. Who do you think you are talking to me now? Like you've made your bed, you have no business together."
You ever seen the one of him and his brother at Everton?
I have, but I can't remember it.
Funny. They're just like so frosty with each other. Like it's well funny.
Yeah, they're both in front, and I feel hey, no,
Straight face, like
yeah, like he kind of knows too, and he's like,
They're having a roast dinner together in the evening.
But it's like it is funny when like like Roy Keane says all the stuff he says, but he's like spot on with a lot of it, isn't he? Like back then, it's like you weren't talking to each other, like you weren't being friends. Like now, it has become kind of just like friendly with all teams. It's just like everyone like respects each other, and yeah, like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it does take a lot of the like edge out of it. Like if
it takes something away from the game.
Yeah, like if City United yesterday, like if there's like big tackles flying in, like the game's going to change completely. But like the way that it is, and like tactically, and like just like both kind of happy that they didn't lose. Really.
Bruno Fernandes came out at the end and was like, they asked him a question, something like, did it go the way that you wanted it to go? And he was like, we can't be the way that we want to against teams like this because of VAR. He's basically saying, I want to kick fuck out of Man City players, but I can't because I'm going to get sent off.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I guess. That's what we got manager of the year this year.
It has to be Wenger, right?
The same year's got this wrong, bloody hell. Player of the year?
Henry has to be.
Thierry Henry. Who's in the shortlist? Is it Arena? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Stevie G.
Henry's in there. Gerrard would have been in there. Steven's in there.
Who's from Chelsea?
Robert Perez. Didn't he have the most assists? He had the most assists. There was someone like
Heyman, because he gets he was in goal.
So there's 3
Who did
players.
they play for?
1 striker, 2 midfielders. You have another Arsenal player, Patrick Vieira. You have a Newcastle lad, Alan Shearer, and a kid from Bolton Wanderers.
Kevin Davis.
Kevin
Ivan
Nolan.
I don't even know if you play for Bolton, are you?
Ivan Campo.
Ivan Campo. Really?
Kid from Bolton.
No. He's playing for Bolton. He is not from Bolton.
JJ Kocher.
JJ.
That's a big.
So fucking good.
PFA Young Player of the Year. I don't know if you guys will get this. He is currently managing in the Championship.
Scott Parker.
Parker, good stuff. Where did you get that from? That bloody.
I watched Premier League years last year.
Scott Parker for Charlton, Chelsea. We had Glenn Johnson at Chelsea, Wayne Rooney at Everton, JT at Chelsea, Cole Toure at Arsenal, and Sean Wright Phillips at Manchester City.
One quick point here, as I was just looking. February Player of the Month, right? 2 players. What do we think about that? How did 2 players get Player of the Month in February?
So here's my argument for this.
Banger.
They don't play the same position.
What?
They don't even play the same position.
How?
Yeah, but still, it's Player of the Month. There's only 1 player.
Really, but it's not like it's like Henry and Shearer and they're both on the same amount of goals. Who's got like 12 goals that month or something. Like,
I think that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It was Birmingham. It was
for Arsenal.
both Arsenal players got Player of the Month in February. I'm not having it.
What?
Yeah, it's weird that. It's
Maybe that's
happened.
the start of everyone going soft. You just get
what are we doing about this, Fainty?
what?
Who are we emailing? Who are we calling? Riot?
I'll bloody call fucking Edu myself.
What about Bergkamp?
I do. I'm not Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp.
I don't have his number. International.
Yeah. What's happened? All right. That's funny, that is. Some standout kits. Arsenal still has the O2 on it. Let's see here. What did I say I liked? Birmingham have their flyby shirt, which is nice.
And the Pizza Hut on Fulham, or what is that after?
Doritos on Wolves.
Doritos on Wolves. I mean, that was a great kit, that is, because if you had to squint to see the outline of Dorito. Tom Hotspur still with Kappa and Thompson Holidays. Actually, that's one of my favourite Welsh jerseys, a Kappa jersey, same year. I love that jersey. Main one's got to be Portsmouth. I think the TY was a teddy bear company, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, I got a good question. I don't know if anyone's looking at the kits or not, but Aston Villa had 2 different sponsors. I mean, it's the same company, but it was slightly different on both kits. It was a car make.
Range Rover.
No. You're not looking at the kits, no?
Yeah. It says Rover.
Yeah.
Oh, the car Rover.
Yeah, MG Rover.
MG Rover.
MG and Rover.
Tell you,
They're away kits, MG.
He's Rover's Range Rover.
it's not Jace. Obviously, you earned an absolute wedge at Gwyn Jones's brother. Just thought about Range Rovers making absolute shoulder.
How many pigs you have to kill for your Range Rover?
My grandmother had a Range Rover, actually. She always had a Range Rover. So
she's the director of the slaughterhouse.
Probably on their own trucking company, but yeah, whatever.
Williams trucks or trailers.
Yeah. Well, no. I actually don't even know what the company's called, actually. I just find it interesting, actually, once we're on this, and I think it's probably the time, or close to it, every time Liverpool played in Europe, they'd have no sponsor on their shirt because you couldn't.
Because it was bear.
Well, bear. Yeah, not in Europe. I think it was only France, actually. I think I'll take that back. But, yeah, you couldn't somehow be a sponsor on your kit, so
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, like I can really see like just obviously I see about Dinas Badge and Liverpool Crest and no Carlsberg because the French don't like to have sex beer, only wine apparently. Yeah, that worked out well. All right, let's go into United dropping off big time. Down they won the league and then they just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of spoke about it on the last pod. Like, was it a foreshadowing for Arsenal being so good last season, but then falling apart massively? To would they go and do it this year? And then they went invincible. Like, I mean, United finished third. Obviously, we wouldn't have won the league this year, no matter what happened, because Arsenal were just good and fucking didn't get beat. So we'd have to match them and have less draws, right? So yeah, I mean, losing Rio to his attending drug test was a pretty big miss. Still wouldn't have helped us win the league. But
How long did he get again?
I think for missing a test.
He didn't fail it. He just missed it.
He missed it. He was sat with who's the fucking
missed it because he was gonna fail it.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what everyone said. He was sat with a fucking City player.
Tevez.
I can't remember his. No, it's like older.
Ferdinand Terres.
Not Clancy. Who's the other like foreigner that City used to have back in the day?
That narrows it down.
Not Georgie Kincladze. It was like a fucking weird. Oh,
Adebayo.
Oh no.
He'll come to me in a bit. I can't fucking remember his name. He was sat having lunch with him apparently, and this is real side of the story, obviously, because I've listened to him. But he was having lunch with this guy, a City player. Guy rang him from the drugs test place saying, "You've missed your test. We're at Carrington." He was like, "I'm on my way. I'm so sorry." Blah blah blah. And then they was like, "No, you've missed it. We're going to report it." Wow, mental.
It is mad if you actually.
One, how the fuck do you not know that and miss it? Like, that's fucking stupid. And two, he was probably 20 minutes away having lunch somewhere, just fucking wait and let him take the test. Like, he said, I think he said that he asked like the same day, the day after, the day after, the day after to take the test. Like
months.
That's a bit excessive, but should have Manchester United like dealt with it.
And like, hey Rio, don't fucking leave. You got your test today. Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Or like an hour or two before, like give them an heads up, like you got your test. If it's that serious as well, like because they would have, like you'd have someone at the club that knows like protocol. If you miss, it's like a serious ban or something. Like, yeah, so you'd think you'd have someone being like,
there was no precedent.
Well,
I know there is now, but there was no precedent. No one had ever missed.
So they just pulled it out their arse. They basically just pulled 8 months out their arse.
Yeah, basically to like stop people from doing it. I guess.
Still 8 months now.
No, it might be 2 years. Nobody's missed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one's missed it, and there's no way that like everyone just remembers. Like you'll have someone like. I mean, it's a lot easier now because like I mean I have a dentist appointment and they send me fucking 12 text messages, like one the day before, one an hour before, 1 30 minutes before. So it's like fucking hell. It's hard to forget an appointment these days, isn't it? But
I'm just making out like the Premier League ran on Pigeon. Notification. No wonder he was late.
Why didn't he get a text saying he's getting his wisdom teeth out tomorrow?
Yeah, some big signings coming through the door for United this year. David Bellingham from Sunderland. Eric Jamba from Leeds, 3.5 million. Tim Howard from Metro Stars for 2.3 million. That's good money. That for
yeah, that wasn't bad.
Clemson, we'll say £6 million. I don't even know who this person is. Dong Fang Huzo.
Dong Fang's out.
Yeah, Dong Fang.
Yeah, good old Dong.
He came in January along with Louis Saha from Fulham, 12.82 million for Louis Saha.
Had 20 goals, all Zaha. Saha.
Louis Zaha was a fucking good player.
Had 20 goals.
He was. He was class.
Thanks to this summer, Manchester United failed to sign Ronaldinho because he's an absolute nutcase. Goes to Barcelona. Who did they sign instead of him?
West Brom.
No, they did not.
Why would they sign a defender instead of fucking if they can get Ronaldinho?
Replace Ronaldinho with Wes Brown.
I have no idea, United.
This is why you do not. Hernandez?
No.
Do you know?
No, I'm trying to think. But like that early.
Tough.
Fulham.
I imagine it's a winger.
Young fucking pups. Yeah, the winger.
Nani?
Was it Ronaldo?
It is Ronaldo. So they agreed to sign Ronaldo, was leave him at Sporting on loan because Ronaldinho's coming in. Ronaldinho falls, so they bring him straight in.
Well, no, that's Peter Kenyon was on Rio's podcast and he said that's not true.
That's where I heard it from.
So we already signed Ronaldo and was leaving him there. We thought we had Ronaldinho in the bag. We was leaving Ronaldo there, but then we went to play against Sporting and we had a game against them. And all the players are like, "This kid's not going back to Sporting. He's coming back to Manchester with us now because he was that good. He ripped us to pieces in this game." And they're all like, no. He's coming back to Manchester now. So they sat there, I think 17 weren't he then?
Yeah.
So yeah, they sat there and hacked out the deal and was like, we're taking Ronaldo back to Manchester with us. So Peter Kenyon said, even if we would have signed Ronaldinho, that would have happened, a game and stuff, and he plays like that, we were bringing him in as well. Imagine us having Ronaldinho and Ronaldo.
I don't think, with my coach's hat on, Ronaldinho doesn't survive 6 months in the Sir Alex Ferguson.
No chance.
No chance. Like, I don't even know how he made it.
Unless it's another Cantona.
Well, I don't think Cantona was so, we'll say, elusive.
Cantona was elusive as fuck.
Yeah,
It's not Ronaldinho partying, and I mean, probably was partying, but not as much as what Ronaldinho does. But Cantona was his own man. He was his own person. He could take a game or a scruff his neck. Ronaldinho was exactly the same. Like, Alex Ferguson treated Cantona differently than any player in the dressing room.
Oh, definitely.
Because he knew if he didn't, that he wouldn't have a Cantona.
Well, I would argue then that treating Cantona differently in the dressing room is way different than treating Ronaldinho in the club. Like,
so what I'm saying is, if Ronaldinho comes in and does what Cantona does, Sergey's like, hang on, this could be my next GM.
Yeah.
Like, you do what you want, son. You're going to win us games and leagues and Champions Leagues and whatever.
I'm glad that fell through. So Ronaldo comes in August 2003, talking about his own person. Beck leaves.
Yeah, 25 million to Madrid.
Goes big time. Do you remember what was that like?
It was weird. There was the game we spoke about in the last pod where Ronaldo scored the hat trick for Madrid. Beckham came off the bench and bagged. Or was the season after, I think, maybe. I think it might have been 5-2, the game against Madrid, and Beckham came off and bagged 2, and it was kind of like the start of it. Like, was that his little piece to say, hey, come and sign me in Madrid? Because he almost went to Barca, apparently, he said in his doco, right? I'm sure he said he was close to signing to Barca, but ended up at Madrid. Yeah, it was strange to see him leave. Never thought anyone from that class of '92 would leave, but the one that would leave is the one that's like in the media more than anyone. So it was strange, but it was like, well, yeah, kind of understand it.
Do you put Trent in the same class as David Beckham with his potential move to Real Madrid?
No, I don't, because I think there was like some issues with Beckham and Ferguson as well, right? They didn't see eye to eye with some things, so I think there was a bit of friction there. Yeah, he was at United. When did he sign for United? Was he like 18 or something like that when he went?
Nah, about 13.
Did he go through the academy as well? So, but again, like, he's not a Manchester lad, is he? He's like he's a Cockney boy. So, yeah, like you grow to love a team, but it's different than like, Trent was like 6 or something when he like joined Liverpool. Like, he's like a Scouser through and through. But like, I think at least United got some money for him as well. I think Trent leaving for free is like one of the biggest kickers as well. Like, I've seen things online that have talking about like Jack Grealish signed a new deal at Villa, and next season or season after, 100 mil they got for him. Even Cunha for Wolves, like, he's been wanting to go for every year. He said last year he wanted to go. In January he signed a new deal with a release clause in it for like 62 mil or something like that. Now he's saying he wants to go again, but at least he signed a deal, got more money for himself for a few months, and like, he can leave with his head held high. Like, they've made massive profit on him. Like, club's going to love him. Like, and you have to blame the club a little bit, because have they offered him deals? Like, maybe not. Like, why would you let it get down this low? I mean, we've done it with Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent. So there's something wrong there to let all three of them run down. It's not like they've been offering Trent deals and he's. I mean, maybe they have. Maybe they've offered him and he's turned them down. I don't know what goes on the inside, but yeah, I feel like this. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Liverpool fan and it like, I feel more strongly about it. But like, I think, he's always said he dreams of being like Liverpool captain. Like he's like vice captain now. He's captain Liverpool a few times. Van Dijk's on his way out. Like you know that if you stay at Liverpool, you're going to be like captain within a year. If Van Dijk was to leave this year, he's going to be captain next year. Then, if not, maybe the year after. Like you could be captain for your boyhood club when they're about to win the Prem. Like you've got a solid team. Like so, yeah. It's. I feel it is a bit strange, but.
Sorry to jump in. I kind of see your point with that, but I also see nothing.
Yeah, I know, but
and you've had him from being a kid, and he's won Champions League, he's won a league. He's the value you've had of him for free. Yeah, I understand. I completely understand it because Jack, like you said, with Jack Grealish, he was a Birmingham lad, Villa fan. We were there from six, signed, but that's Aston Villa. They're in need of that cash potentially. Liverpool aren't. Like I get it. I think it's a shit thing what he's doing. Not in terms of him. I think to go and play for Real Madrid is go and play for Real Madrid. To not sign a contract and be like, right, I'll sign this contract, but you need to tell me for X amount of money. You know what I mean?
But I think now, just because to Dan's point in terms of signing a contract, I can't remember who had said it online, but I heard a really good point where maybe potentially Real Madrid doesn't come knocking. But because Trent's good. Is he Real Madrid good? Is he better than Carral? I don't know. But people are saying if he resigns for Liverpool, Real Madrid won't pay for him. He's not good enough to be paid for 120 million probably for Trent, right? That's how good he is. Same on the free, really has a big debt release in terms of their costs of keeping him there. The amount of money he wants to stay at Liverpool is huge. Conor Bradley tried their way cheaper. I mean, that's why they didn't sign him. Let him go for free is way cheaper than keeping him in his new contract.
But they offered him. They offered some money for him in January, though, didn't they? Sorry.
No, I mean, yeah, potentially, but again, talking a couple of seasons ago, he's got the most assists in the Premier League. You know what I mean? Like, there's no doubt he's an absolute quality player, and what he brings. Yeah, obviously everyone goes on about his deficiencies as an actual defender for sure. But there's no doubt that he's a very, very, very good player. But yeah, as Bob said, you don't really know what's been going on behind the scenes. You don't know what deals are made or what conversations have been made. You can only speculate from the outside. But to go on a free is, not ideal in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Kieran Maguire, the financial football analyst, it was on like the overlap. Do you watch them?
I've seen some clips. I think.
Where all the fans are sat in the seats and they ask questions and Scholes and Carragher on the couch.
That ref's been in there as well.
Yeah, Battenberg was in there.
Battenberg, yeah.
He was saying, Kieran McKenna was saying, Kieran fucking Maguire. Kieran McKenna, Ipswich manager. He was saying Madrid came in and offered 25 to 30 million for Trent in January. The value of that sale, they weighed it up against winning the Premier League and qualifying for the Champions League money that they get. You know what I mean? So, like, that value of winning the Premier League and the money you get to qualify for the Champions League was way more than what they're getting from the 25 million from Madrid. So that's why they might have gone, right, we're going to keep him and he's not going to sign a contract. We've offered him a contract, potentially. I don't know if that's the true thing, but they're going to get over 100 million for winning the Premier League and getting in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, I think
that's the balance he was talking about.
I think one of the things that I'll probably not understand, and yeah, maybe I am just being salty, but like with like Grealish and players like that, it's like, right, you're playing for like Aston Villa and you have a chance to go to City where you could win. Like Villa I mean, you never say never, but like at the time, it's not like Villa were gonna, win the Prem, win the Champions League, do any of these things. Like you're playing for your boyhood club, like all your mates, your family, Liverpool players, and you can win the Prem with them, win the Champions League with them. It's not like you're never going to happen. Like you're going to win the Prem this year, and like we came up against a very good PSG team when we started playing shit. So like, that didn't go well. But like, we make a couple of signings, and like you going for the Prem again next year and the Champions League. Like that's what like I find hard to understand. Like what Gerrard's always said, like winning a Champions League with Liverpool is worth more than winning like 10 with Chelsea or Madrid or anyone like that. Like, so like, yeah, like I just don't get that side of things. Like you go to Madrid and win La Liga every year. Like, does it really mean that much to you? Like, but what he wants to do and like,
it doesn't to Trent because they asked him the question, didn't they? What would you rather win?
yeah, and he said Ballon d'Or.
And he said the Ballon d'Or.
He is a very self-centered person. Yeah, like I have seen a lot of interviews, and it's like I want to be remembered as like the best right back ever. Like I want to win the Ballon d'Or and be like the only fullback that's ever won the Ballon d'Or. And it's like every goal he has seems to be a personal. Like I only care about me being remembered. So like that's why I think he's going to go to Madrid.
Does it shock you that he's not signed a contract and gone for free then? Like
he's just doing anything he can, I guess, to like
correct.
Try to
win a Ballon d'Or at Liverpool ever. Like it potentially could, but he's not going to. It's that biased. It's Spanish and French related. The Ballon d'Or. He goes and plays for Madrid. He might have a chance.
Let's move on quickly to another selfish person because I think we're going to stick on Trent. On my Bob Scott finally speaking voice.
It was great 2004 Trent, wasn't he? That's playing that.
That's the niche of this podcast. We start old and bring it new and go back.
Yeah, sorry.
Called podcasting, Feeney. Learn it.
You brought the question up, Jace, though. You tied Beckham into Trent.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
My job is to host and make conversation. I think. Did a good job? Yeah. All right. Moving on. Our job is also, Bob, to keep the flow of the podcast going. So we'll just nip down the bud. We'll park it. We'll do a spin-off one for that. Yeah. Another selfish person. We kind of touched on it last episode. Chelsea's been bought by Roman Abramovich. I don't know him personally to be saying he's selfish, but success is definitely on the radar. We've gone from the big signings to United this season. They spend a lot of money and bought in a lot of players. Players go now of real angst is Giovanni Zola went for free. Graham Lascelles went for £500,000 to Southampton. Edegori goes to Stoke, undisclosed fee. I don't know how it's 27 years later. We still don't know how much it costs, but whatever. That's mad. It's undisclosed. Nobody knows.
Undisclosed is a weird. Remember that used to come up on Sky Sports. Whoever signed for whoever, undisclosed fee. How do you not know?
How can? Well, like what I don't understand is like, I mean, I guess there probably wasn't like financial fair play in that back then, but like someone's got to know how much you was like you surely have to disclose it. Like, how can you just say I bought someone and I'm not going to tell you how much I bought them?
This year, Chelsea signed 40.
Yes, as watching the Premier League years, Ranieri was like, Arsenal are a team, Man United are a team. I've got 9, 10, 11 new players and we're not a team. And I was like, I forgot they signed that many players in that year.
30 new players and one they signed in the winter.
Sounds like recent years though. Haven't they been signing about 40 in a year recently as well?
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So they brought in 2 goalkeepers. One from Sunderland, one from Chievo Verona. We had Jurgen Macho. Anybody remember Jurgen Macho? No?
Macho man.
Well, we know what you listen to. Marco Ambrosi came in also. Yeah. Ambrosio.
Ambrosio. Yeah.
Ambrosio. I have no idea.
Yeah, there was
that. I remember it.
There was Ambrosio and there was Ambrosini as well. He didn't play for Chelsea, I don't think, but there was an Ambrosio.
Yeah, you tried their custard. Use fucking custard squad.
Mustard. I mean, custard.
No, custard, James. Custard.
Sorry. Glenn Johnson signed from West Ham, £6 million. Jeremy signed from Real Madrid, £7 million. Wayne Bridge for £7 million. Dominion Duff comes in from Blackburn Rovers, £17 million. Joe Cole comes in from West Ham United, £6.6 million. Baron comes from Manchester United, £15 million. Aidan Mucha comes in from Parma, £15.8 million. Smeltin from Bordeaux, Russian, comes in for 3.45. Crespo from Inter Milan, 6.8 million. Neil Soldier comes in from Tottenham for £500,000. Cloud Makaleli from Madrid for 16 million, and Scott Parker from Charlton Athletic for 10 million pounds.
Few good players, isn't there? Yeah,
Makalele.
Makalele, one of the best defensive midfielders, I think.
So good he had the role named after him.
Yeah, go play the Makalele role. Go do that job. Yeah, not bad squad brought in. Odd for the time to be signing those kind of players. That many players spending that kind of money. Change the game.
The start of it.
Yeah.
Bringing in 14 players over 2 windows, like.
Well, when did financial fair play get brought in? Because I would imagine that Chelsea, because they were like, how many owners back then were like millionaires or billionaires? Like, I feel like that's one of the earliest ones that you can, at least I can think of, where you have someone that's basically got unlimited money.
Wow. That's why it's undisclosed fees everywhere. I'm trying to see. Did Chelsea for a second? Yeah, Chelsea for a second. Two elements to this, I guess. First one, they call Ranieri for the Tinkerman, probably because he had fucking 14 people to fix and make work on a system. Ranieri's time at Chelsea, I think, not remembered as well as should have. What do you think?
I think it gets overshadowed, doesn't it? Obviously, because Chelsea start winning the league and stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Fancy, this is going to be good for us because you're younger. What's your memory of Chelsea? If you describe Chelsea, maybe not of the last 4 years, but before, for probably easily the last 10 years, going into probably more, 2003, so probably 15 years. What's your image of Chelsea?
Yeah, what like the players like the SCNs and the Makaleles and the players like that, the Drogbas, they're the ones that in school after SCN scored that absolute worldie against, I can't remember who it was that he scored against, and we used to always
I think
is it Arsenal, and the ball would roll out to you and you go SCN, and that them kind of players, the Alexes, the David Luizes, the Costas. Obviously Torres was there as well. But honestly, when you're looking back, it's difficult. I see why you guys, struggle sometimes naming the and Fainty's corner, because trying to get the years and trying to get the players at the years, and there's so much movement between clubs and stuff. It's trying to pinpoint the exact year is very difficult. Like
once you get on the roll, you get on the roll. Once you find it.
Yeah, I've reeled off like 8 players, 9 players there, and I guarantee none of them were in the same year.
2013.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Too early.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that honestly, that's like my my first memories of Chelsea when I think about it.
But for me, this is like probably the start, maybe 2 years from now, when they really become a rival for Liverpool, especially in Europe, because I don't think anybody outside of England really in these next 10, 15 years kind of compete on the European stage like Liverpool and Chelsea do, and they've kind of become our rivals. I mean, you can think of a couple now on Bentley message last episode in terms of wins against Chelsea being big ones. They kind of become like serial winners.
Yeah, it was like I remember, I think 2 or 3 semi-finals. I think we played against them, and I remember like being younger at the time, but like it's like, oh, we're up against Chelsea. It's like it's going to be like tough. I think they beat us a couple of times, and we beat them. I think we met them in the quarters one year, semis another year. You have like the ghost goal and those kind of games, but like one of the games was like 4-4 or something like that as well. I think it was like just like always tough games against Chelsea. But yeah, like there was like many times where we came across them in the Champions League.
My last Chelsea point has to be parked until we go to my next talking point, which is Porto's 2003-2004 season, and obviously Jose Mourinho. Who wants to start me with Jose Mourinho's Porto winning the league, winning the Champions League?
Yeah, fucking knee sliding down the sideline at Old Trafford.
He's funny. See what he did the other day with the Besiktas manager or the
guy's nose. Or
Galatasaray manager. Sorry, yeah, grabbed his nose, went down, holding his face.
His fucking box office, Jose Mourinho.
You see the guy's reaction though? Went down in fucking installments.
One of my favorite shows to watch Netflix, I don't know if you lads have watched it, is called The Playbook.
Yep, really good. Yeah.
Ellis, as Jose, it has Natalie, I can't remember her first name, was a basketball coach in America, and David Cox lost last night to UConn. I can't remember the men's basketball coach in it. Anyway, it's a really good show. Jose Mourinho is really good, so if you haven't watched it, I will listen to it. I have, if you look at my office, I don't think I've got a picture. If you look at my office, I have the rules they mention in those episodes of learning things for the coaches on my wall. And one of them is like, preparing for the worst. Like makes you prepared for everything or something or whatever. And in that chapter, he goes into playing against Manchester United, and he has this whole story of when once they knew they're going to advance to knockout stage, just prepping everybody, just telling everybody, I hope we get Manchester United. They're one of the best teams in Europe. If I'm going to win the Champions League, I want Manchester United. And he convinces everybody he wants to play Manchester United. He says, obviously, I don't want to play Manchester United, but when they put Manchester United at the hat, everybody's going to be ready to play Manchester United. And he also mentions sat there watching the draw, and they pull out Manchester United, and everybody's like, yay! And he's like, it's so good. Obviously, bloody hell. Obviously, they go and beat United in the Champions League knockout, the first knockout stage at round 16. 80. Definitely coming to you for this one, mate.
Yeah, it was. I think Paul Scholes had a goal chalked off for offside, and he was a fucking mile on. 1-1, and if we score, we go through, or something along those lines. Yeah, at Old Trafford, yeah. And it was a fucking country mile on as well. But
yeah,
they just came out of nowhere, didn't they? Like no one really back in the day didn't really think about the Portuguese league, and didn't get any use from it. So like Jose Mourinho beating United at Old Trafford, running down the sideline. Everyone's then like, who's this guy?
Before the United game, he beat Marseille 3-2, which I think we knew a little bit about Marseille. Coming out of the French league, he beats Partizan. I don't even know where they're from. Serbia. He draws Real Madrid in Madrid 1-1. Should be surprised they go and beat United at Porto and find a draw away in Manchester.
No, not with that. Not with the results you just said out there.
So they knock Manchester United out, which was another game actually at Old Trafford. It wasn't really smooth sailing. Let's be honest real quick. They do almost the same thing. They beat Lyon at home, draw 2-2 away in France. At home, they draw 0-0 with Deportivo La Coruña.
La Coruña.
Like a Lunya.
Yeah, like any.
Different song. Away from home, they beat the 1-0. Obviously, they still have away goal here, so which is huge. And they beat Monaco 3-0 in the final in Germany. So Ben McCarthy's got 20 goals that season in the league for them.
Who? Ben McCarthy.
I see. The South African striker. Can we ever imagine someone like Porto winning the Champions League ever again?
No.
No chance. Is this available, like attainable goal because of the times, or was this Jose Mourinho being one of the best managers in the world? We just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, I just don't think we knew it yet. He had his luck along the way.
I think that put him on the map, though, didn't it?
Certainly put him on the map. He became the hottest prospect in world football after that.
Would it be like Villa winning the Champions League this year?
No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah. They've won it in the past, haven't they? So.
Yeah, but Villa's on Premier League. Like, this is Porto. Porto's not considered top 5 league in Europe.
Yeah, but it's always one decent team. Like, if you were to put Porto in the Prem, how would they do? You know what I mean?
Same as Celtic, what are you talking about?
They'll be in the Championship.
I don't think that's a fair. I think Porto is mid Premier League at best, and not because of the Premier League is so good and they're not good enough. Like, the Portugal League is not have the same weight in the conversation.
Yeah.
You got me
Yeah.
thinking.
I want to watch. I want to show you the Paul Scholes offside goal right now.
It was on.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
So imagine we're 1-0 up already at this point. Scholes already scored one.
That's a foul right there.
This gets called off for offside. That goes to 2-0. No matter what they score in the 90th minute, it goes to extra time no matter what. But 2-0 at home. Ugh. You know what I mean? Like, that's his big slice of luck to go on and win the fucking
3 players playing him on.
That's mental. That is, but that's what you get.
That goes 2-0, you know, and you know, you can't say whether it's going to be we go and score another or they can score 2 or whatever, but 2-0 at Old Trafford is a tough place to be.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. In terms of you saying, Yates, that he became the hottest prospect in European football, really, after winning the Champions League. He won the Champions League in 26th of May 2004. Signed for Chelsea June 2nd. So was that a week and a half?
Yeah, because Ranieri is already out the door.
Yeah. So let's tie him in. I mean, we don't want to touch him too far because probably is next season kind of conversation. All the money that Ibrahimovic spends, Mourinho, the hottest prospect coming out of Europe as a manager. Are we surprised Chelsea just going, I don't know, well, start their legacy, we'll say.
I'm not surprised when you throw that much money at something that's going to stick in it eventually.
You too is Mark Burnley's got your tongue or something, yeah?
I think Yates is right. All that money being spent, Jose, comes in recipe for potential success down the line.
Tune in next week to find out.
Thanks for the rephrasing of my question.
He's good at that, old Ginge.
He's
He can't be
corner.
for himself. All right, let's touch a couple of things I want to go through real quick.
He's
Monaco,
corner.
03-04 season, they have Fernando Morientes. He was flying that season.
What a player. They don't
Yeah.
build nines like they used to anymore, man.
No, and he was up there. I remember they had that split uniform as well. It was well good.
Was it red with white going all the way through?
Yeah. We love it. The count for Euro 2004. Rooney breaks into the England squad. Beck still captain. Generation hype in the Golden Boys. Didn't help, did it? I think we'll touch on the Euro itself next episode, but we're getting ready for it. We're excited for it. Fainty obviously can't remember anything. He still thinks that Henry and Sylvan Walter are the same person.
Just throwing Sylvan Wilton into the mix.
Wow.
Was it not Sylvan Walter?
Chelsea, you fucking idiot.
He's having a rough old couple of episodes, Jason, let me tell you.
What are you trying to say, Fainty?
Fainty's corner.
You got a good one this week, lad.
Go on, 80.
Took the Fiji's corner where the game's on. Guess the old lineup, let's get it on. From the pitch to the stars who played that day. Test your memory in a fun way.
After the Manchester derby yesterday, we're going to go with the Manchester derby again at Old Trafford, but in the year 2003. This was the 2003-2004 season, linked very nicely on the episode that we're on right now. Man United beat City 3-1 at home. The referee was Mark Halsey. Can you name the starting lineups of both teams? Yeah.
Howard.
We spoke about that before, so.
Gary Neville, yeah.
Yeah, Stam.
No,
Stam gone.
He's gone.
Rio?
Suspended.
Rio?
No. Ferdinand got suspended for like the last 4 months of the season or something like that. And then
Gary Neville, Rio.
Mikel Silvestre.
Nope.
Phil
Neville, correct. One more defender.
Defender?
Yeah.
We played 5 at the back. Fucking hell.
Dead negative Nelly's United.
Gabriel Heinze.
No.
Well early, I think that.
We put it morning.
O'Shea?
Yeah, John O'Shea. 4 in midfield and 1 up top. Who are the 4 in midfield? Dean,
Goal.
Golsey,
Giggsy,
Giggs, and
Michael Carrick.
Think about
nope, Brazilian.
Cleberson.
Cleberson was the other. And up top,
Van Nistelrooy.
right.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yes, and that's right. Well done. Man City.
Jesus Christ.
This is going to be hard.
He's a Swedish goalkeeper.
Was this when Seaman was there?
Seaman was the goalkeeper.
Wow. He did
Never would have
fucking
got
well,
that. Pablo Zabaleta.
No, too early.
Well, early.
2000.
When did Zabaleta sign? 2005.
2013.
Was it?
City played a 4-4-2. Who were the back 4? Distant. Yeah.
Pascal?
No.
No, too early.
Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn. Top of the morning to you.
Don't know if that's racist. No, whatever.
You won't get the other 2.
So you asking us, you fucking twat.
One's French.
Ben Thatcher.
One's Chinese. Go on, Jace.
Oh, it's Sun Ji-ai.
Beg your pardon.
Right.
Yeah, Sun Ji-hai. That's the other defender. And then the French lad.
I have no idea. French.
Cal Clichy.
Well, I said this time. I thought it was the only French one.
David Sommel.
David Som.
Never heard of him.
David
Sounds like
Sommel.
Sommel, yeah.
Hey, it's David Sommel at the back, the French lad.
Dude,
We don't say Thierry Henry, do we?
Henry, get the kebabs in. Henry.
the midfield 4.
John McPhillips.
Yeah, he scored.
Bradley Wright Phillips.
No. Do you know Jason saw Sean when he went to his visa?
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton is in there, yeah.
Scumbag.
He's a horrible person, isn't he? One chop.
Who?
Phil.
I don't know.
What did you say? Lamb chop.
Sinclair.
Sinclair. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Trevor Sinclair.
I can't tell you how you knew that.
And the last player, Bobby.
No.
No, played for Liverpool.
James Milner.
It was McManaman.
Steve McManaman.
Oh, wow. Back from Real Madrid.
And the 2 up top were Bobby,
Nicholas Nelka.
Nicholas Anelka, alongside Robbie Fowler.
Great show.
Robbie Fowler. Oh, he did a good job with City there. Only David Samil and I don't know who else. Sun Ji-hai, good player.
Actually, some.
And that is Fate's corner. Well done, guys.
The only way I knew that Sinclair played for Man City, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup right now, is because on the screen on August 14, 2003, Man City beat TNS in the Europa League qualifying. Sinclair scored, Right Phillips, Son scored, Sameli scored, and Anelka.
All right, guys.
We have a better way to finish this. How do we close these episodes? I never know.
So, right, that's it for this week. See you next week.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with all your friends. We'll be back next week with more nonsense.